Well, greetings, and I have a picture here that shouldn't be here. Okay, uh, who do we have in the chat? Oh, 4 viewers. OMG. Oh, I haven't had that many viewers all at once in a while. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. And there's a person in the background playing computer games. So never mind. That she will not disturb. Okay, who do we have in the studio? We have, of course, Stefan. Stefan, this little hedgehog here. Okay, and of course, we have Bert. Um, for those who do not know, does know, he's in the chat. We went to Berlin. We visited Berlin for 4 days. Well, one day travel, 2 days traveling, 3 days on the spot. Okay, uh, and Bertil was with us. First, here shown at the Helsinki International Airport, gazing at the plains and the sky, like so. This little that small plane is not the plane we flew. We flew an EasyJet plane. That is a Finnair, small Finnair plane, I believe, or something, or something, a subsidiary of the Finnish national flag carrier Finnair, and proof that Bertil actually went to Berlin is here. He went to Checkpoint Charlie. Okay, look, that's Bertil, and that is Checkpoint Charlie. There. Now you have proof. Oy, what the fuck am I? Okay. Here. And it was last week Saturday was the very first time that I actually met one of my viewers. This particular viewer that I met in Berlin was Jens. It was really, really, really interesting, and we actually went to a museum. We went to the Futurium or something like that. What was the name of the museum? It was a museum of the future, or something like that. I got some souvenirs, or not souvenirs, gifts rather, from Jens. It's one of these. I'm not quite sure what this is. There's a nuclear waste canister. There's actually it screws open, and there's a lizard of some sorts here. It's a I'm not sure if it's a gecko or or a salamander or a well, it's a lizard of some sorts. Quarter pet, and then it is okay. And then this screws in like so, and then I got chocolate from Jens, and I also got a little I believe this is a sheep, or this is supposed to be a sheep of some sort, with a nice Kiel shirt on it. Okay, drink for tonight is a Berliner Kindle Bock Dunkel. Dark is one of these dark bock type beers that, and it's dark, and it's yeah, dunkel, it says dark in German, and it's 7 alcohol, and it's on the label here. It says that is being brewed in accordance with the German Reinheitsgebot, purity, the the purity regulations. Anyway, okay, enough about that. It's really good. Okay, I have something a bit more special for you today, with regards to my usual topics, or how I present them. Yes, as purity law. Yes, that dem deutschen Reinheitsgebot. Yes, says so. They're very strict, these laws. Anyway, I'm going to present this in a bit different way, because now I have actually screenshots of what says hello. What did I miss? You didn't miss much. I was just I showed pictures of Bertil, first here at the Helsinki airport, and then we went to Germany, Berlin, and then Bertil at Checkpoint Charlie in Berlin. I believe this is on Friedrichstrasse. So okay. Anyway, yes, adults bullying trans kids in Oklahoma. There was I was made aware of a case, because Oklahoma is one of these states that have in recent history passed these so-called bathroom bills. So basically restricting students using the bathroom, consistent with their gender identity, i.e., trans women or trans girls are banned from using the bathroom when meant for girls, and taking part in female sports activities, etc., etc. And now there was, let me see, spokesperson for state super. This is in Oklahoma. State superintendent, spokesperson for state superintendent of public services, Joy Hofmeister, who said that Oklahoma public schools must allow students to use the bathroom of their choice based on students' self-professed gender identity, and cannot restrict bathroom access based on biological gender. But okay, I'm not going to go into biological sex of using whether or not it's biological gender or sex. Okay. Uh, and the executive director of communications for the State Department of Education affirmed this, that in Stillwater public schools, that legal precedent has addressed the need for equal access, including facilities, i.e., toilets, and so forth. So there was a case. What is this? Okay, quarterly report. What the fuck? It's my Streamlabs desktop here. Okay, so yes, I was made aware of a case in Oklahoma, in a school where teachers, teaching staff had to escort a trans girl or a trans teenager, I think, already. Well, in still elementary school. Uh, so I think something like 10, 12, 13, something like this. A student, trans girl, they had to escort her to the toilets for her safety to make sure because she had had threats like death threats etc. for using the girl's bathroom because she's trans. Okay, uh, so this poor girl was outed I mean, in public. I mean, the school staff was trying to protect her during the school day, but they did what they could, but failed to do. I mean, she wasn't physically attacked at school, mm? But online, her name went public. Her name, she was outed in public, and she received death threats from adults. Okay, let me get this. And this was in Facebook groups, and mind you that I will show you. Um, Now I will show you um, screenshots from a Facebook group and Facebook discussions, and I have retracted all identifiable information, names, pictures, etc., etc., have been removed. So only the text is available here. Okay, and just brace yourselves. It's gonna be okay. Okay, let's take no. Let's take up. Okay. Let's take this. Okay. Now this is about the abortion shit. Pardon me. Okay. I don't have them in any particular order here. Okay. Okay. Uh, Supergirl says Buenos Dias, one and all. Okay, but okay, just let's remind ourselves who we are talking about here. We are talking about children in elementary school. We are talking children in elementary school. Who uh, who is talking about these children in elementary school? Adults, grown adults. Okay, let's see what these little fuckers have to say about small children. All in caps. This person says, I'll say it louder for the people in the back. We are not comfortable with having penis in the girls' public restroom at the school. And this is not even being announced and discussed by the school. As a full grown woman, I do not want men I do not know in the public restroom with me. Please. And one of the six replying to this message, saying, "Whoa! Let me make it loud and clear for you. It's one. By the way, no, caps, no punctuation, no punctuation. Grammar is shit. Uh, you know, and I think there's a space comma and yeah, punctuation and yeah." And the other another commenter says, and let me make it loud and clear. For you, it's one child who wants to be a freaking girl. Okay. Now, if mind you, misgendering the poor child, if he was into girls, then that's different. But he's obviously not. Now grow up, because people like you are the reason this generation is on its way. Is generation is the way it is. Now be grown up and move the heck. Wacky heifer. Uh, this is so disturbing in so many ways. Okay. By the way, in the Super Ghost, this Karen wasn't herself in the school restroom. She was talking that she doesn't want men in women public restrooms, in women's public restrooms, at the mall, shopping center, uh, wherever, train station, and shit. Uh, I lost my train of thought again. Okay, let's get this going. Then we have one here. Okay, here is one uh, person of sense. Okay, saying you are bullying a child, you're endangering a child. There is no justification for that. No reason good enough. I'm appalled. Regardless of your thoughts or beliefs on the LGBTQ community and their rights, at the core of this is a child. A good point. Um, a child that doesn't feel safe in their school. As I said, this poor child had to be escorted to the bathrooms by the school staff just for her safety. Um, a child that doesn't feel safe in their community, you name them, you call them perverted. Yes, we will come to this later on, but adults called this poor child a pervert. Those little fuckers. Okay, let's go in. Let's go there. Okay, you name them. You call them perverted. You incited threats of violence. If your goal here was to protect your daughter, then you went about it all wrong, and I have zero respect for your methods. Person of sense. Um, Now that I've spoke to this family, I'm even more disgusted. Today, a child didn't feel safe at school. I hope you're proud. Your child doesn't have adults threatening their safety. If they did, I'm sure you'd see this differently. And there, once again, one of these Karens says, "Honest question, not picking out on you at all. But did you also talk to the girls claiming he was looking at them through the door? How the fuck do you look at someone through a fucking door? Unless it's a like transparent glass door, you can't see through the door. Pardon me. And and other claims. There have been no other claims. There have been no claims of the nature. Um, and now then we have this misgendering, basically calling he's a sissy and boys are bullying him. Hence, this poor child doesn't go to the boys' toilets, and this there. Yeah, but then there's this one person saying, "This child has gender dysphoria. He doesn't. He was again he. Why the fuck do they misgender people on purpose? They know better. Okay." He doesn't need to be indulged in this. He needs psychological help. Come on. Come on, Karen. You know better than that. I mean, it's not indulging or overindulging anyone into if you support them. If you support them for being who they are, it's not overindulging in some perverted acts of sin. Mm? These people is okay. Okay, here's someone saying there was another poster in another thread that made some really bad claims that would be serious charges if they turn out to be true. By the way, there's Superghost. That's got nothing to do all to do with her. Yeah, there's a public toilet thing, and then say he goes on to say it's Karens like these that really ruin humanity and make it toxic, precisely. And the male version, both male and female Karens. Um, yeah, it's yeah. Let's pray what was said isn't true. Yeah, prayer makes it go away. You know, pray to Jesus and Jesus makes it go away. No, it doesn't. Uh, Praying, thinking you're talking to a god, you know, just you're talking to yourself, really. Another Facebook qualified psychologist, get real, Karen. You don't know anything about quote unquote gender dysphoria, says Super Ghost. Okay. Booby says, fuck fuck Karen. I think she needs professional help. Yeah. Um, one problem, by the way, which just this reminded me, the issue with one of the big issues with the gender reassignment process and the regulations that we have in place, as as of right now, it's as I understand it, it will change within the next 2 years or so, hopefully. Anyway, if they deem you're depressed at the clinic, you know it takes the evaluation period, the psychiatric and psychological evaluation period must take at least 6 months. Typically, it takes anything between 6 months and 2 years. For me, it took a year and 4 months. If they deem you are too depressed, if you're depressed, you have gender dysphoria, you're in the closet, everyone you know hates trans people, etc., or even you just have gender dysphoria, you get you're depressed because you have gender dysphoria. They will tell you that you have to go get your depression sorted out you can before they can take you in for the treatments. So basically, you have to fix your gender dysphoria. You have to fix your depression caused by gender dysphoria before we can fix your gender dysphoria. So, if you fix the gender dysphoria, if you get the treatments, the gender dysphoria goes away, and and therefore the gender dysphoria goes away, your depression goes away. How do you get your gender dysphoria when your depression is caused by gender dysphoria? How can you get rid of the depression if you can't get rid of the gender dysphoria? Hmm? And this reminded me what I was about to say earlier when I got the I lost my train of thought. I think it was the episode last week Monday episode, the news reboot episode, where where a Karen was of the opinion, a politician Karen, I think, a Republican Karen was of the opinion that men, okay, she didn't want trans women into uh, um, women's toilets or restrooms as they're called in America, because they can't you just can't go in America, you can't go pee, you can't go to the toilet because it implies you have to pee or poo, and you can't say such dirty words. You have to go and take a rest. Anyway, she claimed that because men, you can't have trans women in women's toilets because they have so much more testosterone and adrenaline. She doesn't know jack shit. I checked up on this, and the average um, level of adrenaline in a human being, regardless of gender, at least what I could find, it doesn't. Um, it the level, regardless of gender, the overall average is 900 picoliters per milliliter. Uh, for any average American, that doesn't say jack shit. But picogram is I think it's 1 millionth of a gram per milliliter, and milliliter is 1,000th of a liter. Uh, that's, you know, the average amount. The difference when it comes to between men and the two binary sexes, the difference comes in how the body reacts to adrenaline. For example, women, when women have extended have raised levels of adrenaline in for a longer period of time, their body starts producing oxytocin, which protects the woman's body from the harms or the long-term harms of having too high adrenaline. I didn't read up too much when it comes to men, but this is just the first thing. Um, yeah. Anyway, it's the same amount of 900 picograms per milliliter. Uh, 900 picograms per milliliter of adrenaline on average for humans, and the difference is just how the body handles or how the body reacts to adrenaline with, for example, women with oxytocin and men with some other uh, things. Uh, Booby says, yeah, the United States of garbage. And Supergirl says, let me correct you there, Heidi. It's pronounced redurplicants, yes. As there are some, not even if it's a few, Republicans that aren't bad. Yeah. Yeah, and Jens says milli, micro, nano, picometers, picograms, meters, etc., which is 10 to the minus negative 10 to the minus negative 12 is picolit. Yes. Yeah. So there's no difference in adrenaline levels on average. It's just the way difference comes in how the body handles the long-term exposure to high levels of adrenaline. You can Google it yourself. Mm. Okay, let's go forward. Um, there we have that one already. Okay, that one we just had. Okay, that one we had. Okay, did we have that one? Okay, okay, did we have that one? Okay, here. If you have kids in Grove and you don't like the kneeling to transgender policies, fuck you. Uh, then do something about it. Run. Uh, do we have it? Okay, now we should have a microphone. Okay, so okay, so I hope I'm not muted. There was a beep and then you were muted. Yes, I know. I was trying to do something fancy. Okay. Um, do we have it now? Sound is okay. Good. Okay. Here, as I was about to go. Okay. If you have this commenter says if you have kids in Grove and you don't like the kneeling to transgender policies, then do something about it. Run for the school board. When you have numbers, tell. Okay, so there is some. I have issues with my soundboard right now. Okay, to fix the problem and not renew his contract if he doesn't and get superintendent that believes in actual gender. Now should be okay now. Okay, now when you get policies changed, yeah, they're just trying to get some superintendent fired. There's superintendent. What the yeah, because there was a spokesperson for the state superintendent for public instructions Joy Hofmeister said they should allow this better allow students to use toilets in accordance with their gender identity. And one dick thinks is the best solution for all this is to homeschool. Yeah, this will for schools getting changed because if we pulled kids out, they don't have to change their policies. They don't have to change their policies if these dickshits pull their kids out of the school. These conservative dickshits can homeschool their kids and teach them whatever the hell they want. Hmm? And uh, the public schools can then remain true to reality, as they, for the most part, have done so far. Superghost says these are the same people saying that before Trump would say I'm not transphobic, but to being openly um, transphobic with no shame. Thanks, Trump, for giving rise to hate. Well, he's a dick. And there was a discussion in the same sense about abortion, or pro-choice, pro-life, etc. Let's get this. Okay, the meme. America's logic. Let's force pregnancy on women. Also, America's logic. I'm tired of my hard-earned taxes going to food stamps and benefits for parents who can't afford their kids. They need to stop having kids if they can't afford them. How about if yeah. Where was this? I found a meme. Okay, I think okay. Let's take that one off of the screen. It was quite uh, uh, shall we say, on point. Okay, conservatives. A mistake a 17-year-old boy makes shouldn't follow him for the rest of his life. Also, conservatives. If the 17-year-old girl that a 17-year-old boy raped gets pregnant, she must be forced to live with his mistake for the rest of her life. Go figure. So go figure that. Go figure that out, fuckers. Okay. So it is. The real solution is not to be having unprotected sex with. Doesn't really make sense. Um, the real solution is not to be. Oh yes, yes. Condoms are hell of a lot cheaper. So instead of murdering innocent children, maybe they just should try not opening their legs for just any of the body. Excuse me. Oh, there was a name there. I forgot to blur. Okay. Okay, I need to blur it right away because I want to use that particular picture. Where do I have it? Because it's so Oklahoma. Yes, here. Uh, okay, I really want to. I could have been. Okay. Oi, shit. Oh shit. Okay. Okay, sorry, just gonna get. I hope that no one catches that, me having not blur, no one gets a problem with my channel for not showing uh, a screenshot with two things on blur that should have been on blur. Okay, wait, not that one. Okay, there. Yes, LOL. I got pregnant with Beep using condoms and I was on birth control. Plus, abortions aren't for hoes, silly guy. Yet this is apparently a guy who was saying this first one. It's for when your baby dies halfway through your pregnancy. Now that lady can't stop the pregnancy and risks going septic. Countless other medical reasons, but hey, let's not educate ourselves. Let's pretend like we know everything about women's body and throw out our super duper wrong opinion. I love you, Beep, but until you magically grow lady parts, don't talk to me about it. Yeah. Um, yes, the issue here is, uh, for example, in Oklahoma, a woman needs a written consent from her husband to get her tubes tied. Yeah. And by the way, here in Finland, you have to be at least 30 years old or mother of five before 30. I think it was a mother of three or mother of five. And or you have to be 30 years old or older to get your tubes tied in Finland, or you have to have like three kids by like three or five kids by the age of 30 to get your tubes tied. But at least nowadays you don't need your husband's permission, written consent. Bowie says people who claim to be pro-life only attack the Trevor Project, which reveals that so-called pro-life imposters are truly pro-death, and bills that ban abortions are part of pro-death movement. Typical con man conservative talking point. Just don't have sex. If you do, then that's my business until the baby is born, because reasons, precisely. And there's a picture somewhere that I came across some time ago. I could have once again taken it up on the screen. Um, about this pro life shit, which is quite ridiculous, to be quite honest with you. It's very ridiculous. But it was basically someone with a sign that you're pro life until your child is poor, until the baby is poor, black, or a person of color, gay, poor, Mexican, immigrant, trans, uh, you know, all of the sort, unless you're pro-life unless the child is anything other than white, cis, straight, American, and an evangelical Protestant Christian. Then, yeah, anyway. Then we have, um, yeah, there's been harassment. Uh, you know, these Karens say that there's been harassment, but there's been no proof of anything of the sort. No proof whatsoever, which is really no surprise. Uh, I could. There's also the Oklahoma. Let's go here. So Oklahoma House passes bathroom bill while state school board members decry Hofmeister, and Hofmeister is the this lady um, who is Joy Hofmeister, state superintendent of public instruction. Um, anyway, we've been at this for 50 minutes. This has been going on for 15 minutes. Okay, anyway, I will, however, link these in the chat. Okay. I'll These are quite recent. Anyway, Bowie says the true crew basically. Silvergo says pro-life is just term for pro-cis white male Christian conservatives control. Even since segregation and racism has a stigma and attached, they have moved on to other minority groups. Yeah. Let's do a part two, says Bowie. Yeah, why not? Why not at some point? I'm not promising anything for next week, but I'll okay. I'll put these links in also in the description box. So, okay. Now just refresh the stream and you should see the links in the description. Superghost says apparently before and during segregation, conservatives were pretty much pro-choice. No surprise there. No, none whatsoever. Oh, but it's nice to see that I've had a few new subscribers. I think 3 in total. I've had a few come and go, back and forth. You know, 3 went, 3 came, 2 went, and 2 came, and shit. Okay, and those, if you haven't already, thumbs up, thumbs up, please do so now. And huge thank you to my patron, Flems. Flems has been my patron for, I think, 7 months, probably 8 months, 8 months probably at this point. You can start with just €3 a month, or equivalent in your own currency if available. Otherwise, you will see the amount in euros if your own local currency is not available. Okay, let's. Okay, who do we have here? Yes. Anyway, I hope you didn't miss me too much when I was gone. It was a good time having some time off from pretty much everything. Just disconnect. We went to see Daddy Fair. By the way, when you check the Oklahoman article, you will see that in the video, this 50-something-year-old white cis straight man has beautiful blonde, mostly blonde, girls next to and behind him. Youngest seems to be maybe 8 years old, something between 7 or 8 year old. It's something between 7 and 9 maybe. So Super Ghost says, so you aren't finished anymore since going back to Berlin. It's official. LOL. Just kidding. Yes. I lost part of my soul. It's like the game, the Jedi game. You recommended it to me. I think it was you, Ghost. They're the character. The Seer character has disconnected herself from the Force, a former Jedi. So she didn't wanna be tempted to use the dark side. Eventually, towards the end of the game, she does use the dark side. Ghost says, are you enjoying Jedi Fallen Order? Yes, I am very much. Thank you very much. There are few things that I still don't quite get about the game, One thing that I'm really missing, I miss from the Lara Croft games is the fast travel points. I really miss the fast travel point. Also, automatic saving and the fast travel points. Those I really do miss. Because with the Jedi Fallen Order, you have to just go to the meditation points to create a saving point. And actually, I finished the first round, but now I started New Journey Plus. And when I started a New Journey Plus, when I finished the game, Bowie says, please don't execute Order 66, please, or put stop to it. Bowie, unfortunately, this game, the Jedi Fallen Order, takes place something like 10 years after the Order 66. So this is post Fallen, like 10 years after the Jedi Order fell. Yeah, Supergirl says, yeah, I feel you, but recently fell in love with Elden Ring. It's such an epic game. Yeah. But there's a hologram message from Obi-Wan Obi-Wan Kenobi from during the execution of Order 66. From the past, saying the Jedi have fallen, the Republic has fallen, run. Do I play Zelda? No. I have time for only one game at a time because my time is very stretched. Because I work full time. Well, starting or as of June 1st, I'll work 80%. But the entire time I've been doing my YouTube channel, I've been working full time. I've been working full time for a while now. So I have new Obi-Wan trailer came out recently. It gives a brief glimpse at Darth Vader. That's interesting. And what came to me as a surprise that the spoiler alert, just shut your ears if you don't want to hear. But Darth Vader appears at the end of the Jedi Fallen Order. Anyway, it's been going on for an hour, and it's been fun. Okay, now that I still remember, I need to. Okay. So that was my thing for today. Super Ghost says, "How did you feel when Darth Vader appeared in Fallen Order? Your hair stand on the end? LOL." No, not really. I was surprised. I I was positively surprised. I mean, I was more like, yes, I knew it. I knew it. Yes, 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 yes. I knew he would come in at some point. Or so Darth Vader, the Emperor, or Obi-Wan or Yoda, or someone from the original franchise that would actually appear. Super Ghost, I had a message, says I have a massive smile on my face. Lol. Okay. Anyway, that was what I had for you today, and here is Stefan. He has been listening there. Has been Bertil, and this little sheep. I don't have a name for this little thing yet, but I will come up with a name. Perhaps I'll make a poll at some point on my Discord server. If you haven't already, please go join my Discord server. Give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, subscribe if you haven't already, and click the notification bell for all notifications. Just tickle it really gently. Caress the notification bell. And once again, thank you, Flems, for being such a good patron. Go check that out. There's PayPal, playlist links. My email, please send me email. Please leave me a link, etc., etc. And ciao, Super Ghost, and I will see you on Monday.